Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. 1 second, please. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. And today we're going to be continuing our series here on the importance of volume. So really great topic, guys. We've covered a couple really great things, and today was no exception to the rule. Having Fed minutes today and kind of like low volume type choppy stuff today, so it really can help you. So we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to check and see where we left off with the market here today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we're going to go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so let's take a look here and see where we left off here today. So again, guys, SPX ended up about 13 points here today, keeping the monthly chart green, still contending with that bearish engulfing candle from last month. Weekly chart, we're looking at an inside week right now. So we'll see how that goes here. We're kind of sitting at the mid Bollinger Band with a spinning top. Again, upper shadows and lower shadows abound. So it's like, which way are we going to go? And it is pretty complex, right? But and we're kind of chopping around right here. Today ended up with basically a doji day, kind of a hammer, but mostly a doji below the 80 MA, right? So and still below the macro downward trend line. So we are still in a downtrend, right? So when we go to the wave count here on SPX, one of the big things that we are trying to figure out, right, is whether or not this is this bullish move that we've been seeing is is legit, right? We got this one, you can see the one right here, 1 2. So we have this 1 2 and potentially 1 2 3, and this could be wave 4. It did not invalidate itself. It stayed above the wave 1 high, right? And could be starting a kind of a 1 2 3 4 5 wave up. Now this is a really big pullback, and it was past the 618. So that's very rare for a wave 4. So my guess is I probably have the count wrong on this. This is probably a 1 2, and I might change this tomorrow. This is 3, this is 4 triangle, and this is wave 5. I just like that gap for wave 3, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the case for wave 3. Just a lot of times it helps us identify it right here, like because we have this 1 2 gap wave 3 right there, and then you can see what looks pretty much like a kind of like a zigzagish type move. We got this A, B, C down right here, right? So I mean, definitely a possibility, or this could even be like a 3-3-5, right? And then because I was an impulsive wave down, and then we could be looking at here, kind of a fresh wave 1 2, and then we'll see, if we go wave 3 up. So again, whether or not this is a wave 4 or a wave 2, like I said, if this is wave 1, right, and this is wave 2 to just past 618, that kind of makes more sense. We could see a very impulsive wave up going from here. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that. And I'll probably end up switching that out tomorrow depending on how impulsive we get. If we get like a big gap up tomorrow and we rip, I'm going to assume that's wave 3, just like I assumed that was wave 3, and go from there. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at right here. But again, like we mentioned, though, that we are in a macro downward trend, right? And so one way to look at that still, too, is your 1, A, B, C, wave 2, right? And then we could be working on a larger wave 3 right there. If you go all the way here to wave 1, to the end of wave 1, and you look at this, and why would that overshoot it? Well, it would be a running flat, right? And so you have this going right here. It actually gets to the 50% retrace, which is not unreasonable, and just over the 50% retrace, not unreasonable here for a between the 50% and the 618 for wave 2, right? So we could start, this could be just kind of the first wave starting here for a wave 3, and the reason I say that is that it is also, even though we counted an ABC off of this, we could look at this as kind of a 1 2 3 4 5, right? And this could be sort of like an A, B, C, and then we really start to work our way down. So again, this is tough, guys. There's no real definitive count right now. All I know is that we're below the macro downward trend line, right? And we're actually below the 80 MA. So we're kind of bearish here, we're bearish here. So I kind of overall lean bearish, but of course the bulls like to step up and they like to get going. So that's kind of what we're tracking here going into the rest of this week and into next week. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at the futures, see what we're up to or down to here this evening. Oh yeah, and it was quite an interesting day today, right? So I'll show you here on the futures just what happened. So today we were expecting chop today, right? And once this initial shakeout, crazy move here was done today, and it was actually right off the geometric line this morning, which was pretty impressive. And it gave us a big drop down here this morning. So the real question was, how far were they going to take this, right? So again, it's tough to jump in. We look for retraces on that, but none of the retraces had any power, right? And so when we talk about our topic of volume today, that's another big thing that we want to look at, right? And so then, right, we started to kind of grind our way up. We actually put in a higher low here, and then a higher high, and then another higher low. Right, and then we had this nice kind of flaggish type pattern right here, which kind of worked. I drew it earlier as a cup and handle. Yeah, it's not really a cup and handle because of this move right here, but definitely a nice little flag. Either way, it was a good breakout out of a key level, and a good breakout right here, and that gave us a nice little move into the Fed, and then we had the Fed minutes today, got a little volatile, and then we just kind of drifted down. Or we kind of drifted up. So pretty cool stuff there. In the meantime, tonight we're going to check out this Geo and see how that holds tonight. And then kind of go from there. So good stuff. All right. So again, this week we've been talking about the importance of volume. So today is a great example of no volume, right? Or low volume, right? So if we go to the SPY and we go back to our friendly 60-minute chart, right? One of the things that we think about, right, before we go into the day is, what's the context of the day that we're looking for? That's why in the bubble report we put the economic calendar out there and we talk about it in the morning video, and we talk about it on our live stream in the morning what our plan is, right? And so the idea is that even though we did have a nice flush this morning, right, we ended up pushing, but look at this reversal right here, this lower shadow right here with the increased volume, right? So pretty nice stuff. But once the volume we got a little bit of follow through on that, and then we started getting here. Right, we got a decent green candle, right? Upper shadow, lower shadow, spinning top. But look at the volume. Look how it dropped. It almost dropped in half. And then this one right here almost dropped in half again. So we were expecting chop, right, into the minutes. And minutes are normally a non-event. It's just like, hey, they're just repeating what they already said, and they just kind of put it out there. But what they have been doing now is the algos have been reading through it really fast and trying to interpret, the next taper and all that stuff from it. So we don't necessarily we haven't been seeing a lot of direction after the Fed minutes, but we have been seeing some volatility and some volume. So that's why I cautioned everybody in the public Twitter today, and of course in our group, to be a little bit careful, heading into that volatility event. But when we look at this and we're kind of trading in this, we look at the potential for something, if we could sell some premium or something and capitalize on that chop, right? And so when we see that happening, right, we can get involved in here and we see that volume dropping. That's where we know there's really not a lot of participants, right? And then it wasn't until the Fed, kind of kicked off at the end of the hour, and this is actually into the end of the hour, where we look to, and we broke out through that bull flag, right, where we look to kind of stand away from that and ride the next wave up or try to trade that move up. And so that gave us a lot of good clues here into today's price action, being able to use that volume. So again, I encourage everybody to do it. It's a very, very helpful tool, right? The other thing that I wanted to point out too, and I actually think I'm probably going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. But one of the things that we like to do, and in fact we'll save this till tomorrow, but I want to talk a little bit more about trend and using volume for trend, and I think you guys are going to like it, and some really great examples right here too today. But we'll save that for tomorrow. But I just want to show today that the low volume, right, can actually give us a lot of clues into the price section as well. So as important as high volume is, low volume helps us too. Like here's another example right here, right, just on the bull flag breakout. Look at how the volume just kind of dropped here, right, before the breakout. Right, that helps us show that this flag, right, is not really like looking for a trend change down, right? It's just we're seeing an average volume drop right here through that flag pattern, and then once the volume starts to pick up into that breakout, right, through these key levels, then we can look to trade that to the upside, right? So that's two pretty good things right there. Using the low volume for clues in the chop, but also low volume for clues in the pullbacks as well, where we can look for a breakout once the volume comes in. And tomorrow I'll talk a little bit more about using volume and trend, and I think that'll wrap up the week pretty well. So anyway, good stuff. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys then. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night. But anyway, guys, good stuff. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. So at this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as possible. Try to wrap up as early as we can so everybody can get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So Angela, what's going on? Good to see you. You got AXSM. GA. I'm assuming you mean this Axome Therapeutic, AXSM, this Axome Therapeutics. So yeah, look at that. So okay, I assume you're meaning this, right? Because look at that. We got a nice breakout right here. Right, through a nice geometric line right here. Good volume yesterday and good follow through today. So again, keep an eye on here, guys. It looks like a biotech name, so typically not when I trend. These are wild. But again, let's see if we can get another push over these highs and maybe get 3 white soldiers up to the top of the cloud. So good find on that one. Shirley sent a few in via email. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at Plug. So Plug, guys, wow, really kind of exceeded my expectations here today. I'm not a huge fan of Plug because of their accounting practices. They basically had bad books, but it's kind of hard to believe that it's going up. But it is what it is. It did what it did, right? So the one thing that we were talking about, hey, what do we always look at when we look at a gapper, right? We look at our pre-market highs and our pre-market lows, right? Our pivots, right? And so we look to see if we can get above or below those. And this morning it was all about being above it. And guess what? Look at that nice increasing volume here, and then it ended up drifting itself up nicely here today. So good stuff there on Plug. So we'll see if it gets any follow through tomorrow, but that was a nice gap right there. It almost looks like it just wants to test that 200-day moving average before probably pulling back, especially if their books are still bad. SE, again, nice breakout candle on this one. I know some folks in our group were able to capitalize on this, but look at that. Nice geometric breakout right here. Got really, really tight, right? And today was the volume breakout on that. We kind of look at the intraday. You can just kind of see the strength on that at the open if you can get involved. But if you were involved in it before that and you really believed in it, right? I mean, you could have front run it, but pretty nice move on that one. D-Dog, let's say I don't encourage the front running, but sometimes it works if you understand the name. D-Dog, again, kind of like a sideways cup and handle pattern right here. Nice breakout on that. Strong candle today. Again, I agree. Very, very nice move. Twilio, okay, looks like you're not the only one that likes this name here today. Woo! Big breakout right here. Look at that. Drop base rally today. Right to the 50-day moving average. See if we can get back over that 50-day moving average and kind of get going. And XPEV, the Chinese electric vehicle names were strong today, guys. That's a nice flag breakout here on XPEV, right? So very, very nice move right there. Again, look for some follow through. See if we can get through the daily cloud. So very, very nice move on that. Thank you, Shirley. Really appreciate it. And Options Rock sending a few ideas out there via Twitter. So let's keep an eye on these here. So Trip, kind of doing its thing, getting tight, right? Getting real tight up here. So let's see if it can get some volume out of this triangle one way or the other. SSYS, let's take a look. Yeah, big push here, right? So kind of got the three white soldiers, got a little move off of that right here. Now we're seeing like three upper shadows, right? So a little bit of caution off of that. That means the buyers are getting pushed back down, right? They're going nowhere, right? They're running out of steam. So just a little bit of caution on that. And then you've got Twilio again on the radar too. You get a nice move right there. Just watch your 50-day moving average, and instead of XPEV, you got Tree on the radar. And Tree, there it goes. Finally, guys. Yeah, look at that lending tree. Look at that. Here's your geometric line right here that we drew the other day. Here's your breakout with, I believe, some volume. Let's see, we had 460 today, 492 today. So it's a good move on that. Yeah, so keep an eye on Tree. That looks good. To see if we can get some follow through through today's highs and work its way past those highs to get to the 50-day moving average. So nice move on that. Good find. Good. And Angelo, yeah, AXSM, gap fill. Yeah, so tough one, right, to call a gap fill, but it looks like it's trying, that's for sure. Look at that big move right there. So, again, three right soldiers could get you there. So, again, look for some strength tomorrow and see if it makes sense. How does this thing intraday trade? It's okay. It's got some nice little patterns right here. You got a nice little triangle breakout right here. A little bit of volume to kind of get you out of there. So that gave you an opportunity today to get involved. So see if it gives an opportunity to get involved tomorrow if it's still strong. Just don't just jump into it randomly, but it could be good. And yeah, and then snow, beautiful one on snow today. I really like the snow move right here. Again, we had this drawn the other day. Snow's got kind of a hot name, right? It's got this kind of inverse head and shoulders kind of breakout type pattern. So let's see if that can get going too. Snow looks very, very interesting. So good find on that one too. JMOS, what's going on? Good to see you. I was thinking about you today on these BESE names, right? So BE again, strong move here, nice gap up into the cloud, good volume on that one. So let's see if we can keep going. SE again, like we said, that big geometric breakout there, so good move there. And then Cube, yeah, good one right there. Wow, I know you've been liking this one too. Again, it was under the 80 MA forever, and then look at the change of composure right here. It started getting above it, then it got above it yesterday with some increased volume, and then see, I got over the 50-day moving average. So nice move on there on Cube. Yeah, my pleasure. And Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, Amazon. So Amazon's tough, right? We had this kind of increased volume green day today. It's first day, decent green day over the 80 MA in a while, a couple days, right? So let's see. We'll see what it does. I mean, if this market stays bullish, like if that wave count we're looking at, where it was kind of that one instead of wave 4, that wave 2 move, and we're looking at a wave 3, then yeah, Amazon could certainly move up here with this one. And it does kind of look like a 1, 2, and like this one looks like it wants a wave 3 up, at least to the cloud there. So definitely something to keep an eye on there in Amazon. Oh, Cyrus, what's going on? Good to see you. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at Lulu. Yeah, Lulu had a really good day today. Almost a Morningstar reversal, except this real body was not below the prior real body, but a strong candle today, guys. This thing was a monster all day today. Just, it got really, really tight and just really kind of kept on going here with that drop-based rally type style. As we're kind of pushing our way out of the cloud. So let's see if we can get those highs and get going on that one. Goldman Sachs, a little bit of a hammer. Earnings coming up this week. APPS. Again, it's grinding its way up here over the 80 MA, so let's see if it keeps going. ANTM with a lower shadow right there. it did fill the gap today. So again, now it kind of did its job right there. But it looks like, I mean, honestly, this one really kind of looks like it's in the middle of just a choppy, sloppy range, right? So again, I would wait for a breakout one way or another out of this triangle. It's hard to guess which way it wants to go there. AVLR. Again, inside day up on that one. Nice push there too over the 80 main into the cloud. Just volume isn't there, but decent candle to it, so it looks pretty good. Otas, everyone requests the other names. I love it. Yeah, I mean, good stuff, good finds. Yeah, great minds think alike. I love it. And Thierry, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at LAC. Lithium Americas, again, strong day yesterday and great follow through the highs today. Just very, very nice move there. And then the UEC. Again, these uranium names hot today. There's a nice pusher there. Could be a doji sandwich on that one. And we had CCJ on our bullish radar going into today too from the free game plan. We talked about it last night, so a good move on that as well. Very, very nice. And Otas, you got Zoom on the radar. So Zumba. Yeah, so Zoom I like. It was very strong at the open today, and it got some nice follow through today. I'm just, I'm a little bit concerned with it. It's kind of its first strong candle, after it had all these opportunities to get going. And we're coming right on option expiration this week. I want to wait on Zoom for me until after option expiration. I want to see what it does. It doesn't mean that this thing won't keep going. For sure, it's coming into a little bit of a prior support, possible resistance area right here. I want to see what it does after the next OPEX right here, because it didn't, it just kind of drifted down off of this one, which is kind of disappointing. But we were hoping it would pull an Amazon. But it might be kind of gearing up for that right here. Roku's looking very interesting. It looks like it's kind of poking its head above a little bit of a bull flag. So Kathy might actually catch a win on this one, so we'll see how it goes going into tomorrow. But a strong push above today's highs, guys. Could get this thing going. Let's see, the gap low right here was 330.01, and today's high was 329. So there's a quick gap fill right here. But any momentum that comes in through past that could give this thing a nice push to the 50-day moving average. So let's see how it goes right there. And then who knows, maybe Kathy will actually be in a name that's over the 50-day moving average. So we'll see how that goes. mRNA, back to the ADMA on that one with an upper shadow. So let's see how it holds. If it ends up breaking down right there, so be it, right? CRWD, guys. This is our 15 orb radar yesterday, 30 orb today. Big move, right? Just really, really nice candle on CRWD today. Great move from the bubble report today. I love it. And Robbie, Square, let's take a look. So Square with an inside day up. Yep, nice move on that one. Hope you're doing well. SE, again, great breakout candle on this one today. Again, like I said, a lot of times these names, they break out like this, they pull back, and then they kind of get going. So look for any strength over today's high. And then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, my pleasure. Good stuff. And then 2020 says it all. Let's say GMBL. You got an after hours pop on this one? Nice. Wow, huge volume. I guess we had earnings, right? So let's take a look. Yeah, big earnings move on this one. So up to, wow, 776. So where does that put us? That puts us up here. Wow. Very important pivot level right here. If it can get and stay above that and get over this 50-day moving average, it can start to climb its way up. Otherwise, look for a potential fade on it. Credit card names, V. They were generally weak today, but they ended up rallying there into the to finish with the doji. So could be a doji sandwich down. So see how that goes. Posh. Again, nice candle day over the ADMA. Reminds me a lot of Zumba off the Zoom name right there. Very, very similar ADMA breakout on that one. And Real, the Real is a decent push right there, but under the ADMA on this one. So not as nice as the Posh, in my opinion. So good stuff there. And Brett, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's say you got VZ on the radar. Let's see if this is a reversal hammer. You don't see too many. If it is, and we go something like that, that's Thor's hammer right there. So we'll see if we can get a nice reversal off of that. Again, if it was more volume than yesterday, it'd be impressive, but it's still pretty good volume today. So we'll see if that one's ready to move. And then Roblox. It's sort of like a interesting move, kind of like this kind of like a Morningstar-ish reversal, but a drop-based rally. Decent volume here today. Again, let's see if we can continue to push on this and get over these levels here, maybe to work its way up to the 76.50 area. So good stuff there. Great finds on that. In 2020, you got skills. What skills to pay the bills? Let's take a look. Decent candle day again over the 80 with increased volume. So let's see if this one is ready to get going again here. We'll just watch your geometric level here, but above that level, potential move to the 50-day moving average. And then Nick, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got Amazon on the radar too. We looked at this a little bit earlier. Kind of a drop-based rally type move today. It's tricky. It wasn't a really big candle for Amazon, but it is possible, right? Because it finished that symmetrical move down that we got this kind of this 1, 2, right? And we could be working on wave 3 up. So let's just kind of keep an eye on it, see if it gets any strength on that, especially if the market is strong. Okay. Well, good stuff, guys. Awesome chart requests tonight. As always, I really appreciate it, and I always appreciate everyone being here. And even if you're checking the recording, thank you guys too. We'll be right back. We'll be back at it tomorrow, guys. We'll see you guys here on YouTube bright and early tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, guys, we'll stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay